play a game.
I guess it's time to press that button then. Alrighty, we're in Running Train. We'll have a bit of a look. Hello to T-Side Train Watcher, Michael Newbury, Andy Burbridge, and Steve Hornsby. So this game, I love the tutorial. That's it. Enable the in-game instruction. Done that. Good. You can somewhat edit your train. What you have to do is put your texture files in a folder and it loads them in. Until then, you can't, but that's okay. All right, let's get into this thing. I'll run one train from each of the two routes that are available now. So there's the Fukugawa. They are both imaginary routes, and the Sankai main line. In the Fukugawa, you get a local train, which is some kind of electric beast. They don't really tell you what it is. And you get, I think there's two of them actually, because they're different colors. But we'll try those. And Sankai Main Line, which has a local train, and a Limited Express, which is a diesel. As you can tell, ooh, what's the red one? We have to do the red one, don't we? I don't know what the red one is. We'll find out. But anyway, we'll do them. We'll do them. I've never seen them before. But as you can tell from my scores, I don't do it well enough for the game. But that's okay. Is it? I don't know. So I've got 29,000 points of a possible 31,000, which to me doesn't seem that bad, being not a point scoring kind of person. I think we will do the streamer's nightmare. And we'll actually start with one in the dark because it's Unreal 5. It must be okay. So we'll start with that. And it's only 12 minutes anyway. So let's get on with it. It's the blue one. So they do tell you it's a KR5000, but I don't know what that is. And the people who are saying this is a train sim world killer, good on you. I think you're fuckwits, but that's okay. The reasons is because it's got two routes and very limited timetables. And it's all made up. But it looks absolutely magnificent. That's not dark. Fine. All right. It tells you what to do. You can see it wants me to press the reverser. It wants me to partially release the brakes. I haven't actually driven this train before. Now we have to shut the ATS up. The doors open by themselves. You don't need to worry about that. We'll keep that about there so we can see the controls. What does this train look like? That. It's a single car, two car. It's two car. It moves ever so quickly. Oh, this is something that I think's amusing. Got this giant buffer stop here. And then there's another track with a little buffer stop. But that actually is not that uncommon. Sky colors look nice. Visually, the game is magnificent. Is that the red one, do you reckon? I wonder. But anyway, you got white ones, red ones, blue ones, and white shiny ones. That's about the way I'd describe it. I think it probably wants us to go by now. Does it want us to go? Yes, it does. Okay, release brakes. And insert party mode. You do have to watch the signals yourself, and technically you should go Shingo. But I won't. I have changed its controls to match most other train games on the keyboard front, so it doesn't get too annoying because it's a very different control system. It does support controllers. It supports the Densha Go controller. It supports the Seiki Mascons, two of those. I haven't been able to figure out whether it supports the Nintendo Switch version or some mythical PC version, so I contemplated buying one. I actually contemplated buying one when I was in Japan 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. And I didn't, which I probably should have, because I have quite a few of these Japanese train games that are just like this one, except this is the most visually pleasing one. We're being viciously bombarded with cherry blossoms here. And the Zigiwa Teisharesh means stop at the next station, you buffhead. This is a self-lapping brake by the looks of it. Good. We're supposed to stop there. There, right there. We're going to have to go backwards. Because we didn't stop in the right place. It won't let me get away with 16 meters. Less than 4 meters, it lets you get away with it. There we go. All the braking bananas. Right. Getting on with the chat while it loads up the peoples that aren't there. We must do the red one. I agree. And he says, hope you're doing well. I am, mate. It supports Xbox controller limited. Have to use the keyboard. It does support the Xbox controller, but it's a weird control scheme that you can't remap. So I kind of just ignored it. I refuse to learn it. But you can remap the keys to whatever you want, and I've just remapped them to what most train games use. And he says, have you done any runs in winter? Does the train handle differently? Well, there's a question. Hello, T-Side Train Watcher. Actually, I have done a run in winter. And yes, I think they do slide. So we'll do a winter. Why not? We'll do whatever you want. This seems to be a little branch line, actually. I don't think I've been down this one before. So it's a branch off the main route. Start braking a little earlier this time. Oh, we're going uphill anyway. It's probably fine. As we gain height. I have discovered that the train sim keyboard mapping is not the most ergonomic keyboard mapping in the world. Visually, it's absolutely magnificent. But I reckon if you tried, you could probably play all of the services in this thing in 3 days. And I know some people have tried. It's built by a single developer. It's a good example of what we can expect in Unreal 5. You start to notice things after a while, like every single cherry tree is exactly the same. Which is one of the reasons I don't think it has long-term playability. Should I have stopped? No, we're fine. We're fine. There we go. Deal. All right. I do love that the gates reopen after you've stopped, because that's kind of realistic for Japan. So we'll come over here and we'll pretend we know what we're doing, and we'll watch it depart. We'll just pretend we know what we're doing. Steve says, I've only been a passenger on the train. Cool. Gates are coming down. How do you know we're supposed to depart? I suppose we are, because, you know, the gates came down. Brakes should be off. Oh, I haven't got headlights on. Headlights? Why is headlights blowing the horn? But anyway. Oh, I can't control the train. Well, that's annoying. Huh. So if I put some power on and release the brakes and then go back there, we can watch it depart like we were planning to. The train sounds seem to overwhelm the bing bongs, so it's I think it's shy of sound channels. Pretty much in the same way Train Sim World's shy of sound channels. It's a balancing act. T-Side Train Watcher has hit 350 subs. Well done, sir. Well done. Steve Hornsby is going to be a passenger. T-Side's incredible. Intercity 125, Swallow Livery, etc. with intercity coaches and Midland ones on the back. Oops. I'm coming in way too hot to an adverse signal. And we're probably going to spad. Because I was reading the chat. Can I go into emergency brakes? No. What about that one? Will it stop me in time? Oh, ATC, stop me. No. That went well. See, don't read the chat in this game. Bad move. All right. We'll run the same one again. I think we'd almost finished it, actually, because that was the last stop. We'll just pretend we finished it. Look, I got a D, even though I spattered. What's with that? All right, let's go and find... Oh, no, because that wasn't the one we ran. We ran this one. This was the one we ran. And I got 0 score. Yeah, let's finish that one. Let's do it again. Oh, we were going to do one in winter, weren't we? Hang on. Let me out. Let me out, let me out, let me out. It's not going to let me out. Hello, Psych. Steve says TSW same trees over and over. It does. But it's got about 50, not 1. Anyway, let's go. Can I change the weather here? No. I think you can change the weather while you're playing, but come on, let me out. Don't crash on me. Back to the main menu. Yep, that's what I want to do. It's like saying hello to Michael's. It looks nice. It does look nice. We'll run the exact same service in the Fukagawa, and we will run it in winter this time. Has 2 seasons, spring and winter. Can we have some snow? Ooh. Blizzard. Oh, you know we're doing that. It's good that you're growing T-side Trade Watcher. Michael says, exhausted, difficult day. One of the co-workers from a pain in the arse, so nothing to call our supervisor to the location. Just dram your traffic pole up their arse, mate. It's not that hard. Reverser. Get it out of emergency. Acknowledge the coup. And then we'll watch the passengers that don't exist get in. There we go. Blizzard sounds pretty good. Probably get a copyright ping from it, from that bloke that copyrights wind. One day I'm going to find that guy. Go copyright this fart, mate. Is it time to go yet? No, 5:50. 40 seconds to go. Hornby Man likes the class 55. Hornby Man, you are very good at discussing things that we're not talking about. That's okay. Is it? No. Let's get a bit of viewpoint. Apparently you can actually adjust your viewpoint, but I tried to do it and it wouldn't let me. The other thing I tried to do was turn on the point calling gestures, but I can't make it do it. It just does nothing when I tell it to do that. But that's okay. I have seen people actually make it work, so I don't know why I'm weird. It is slipping. Makes a different noise. We are accelerating though, so it's okay. It's making a different noise, but we are accelerating. Sounds like a vacuum cleaner. In fact, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like the underlying track in an 80s rave. T-Side Train Watcher thinks I'm underrated. Thank you. Yes, I know. We have to stop. Promise I'll try this time. In fairness to the chat, it wasn't really the chat that caused me an issue. It's that I didn't really think about the fact I was going down a very steep hill. So I picked up a lot of speed. By the time I noticed that, it was all too late. Does it slide under braking? Yes, it does. Of course it does. Yeah, it definitely slides under braking. Alright, you can stop now. Stop, stop. There you go. Nice little compressor noise. So it is pleasing to drive. Probably shouldn't release the brakes yet. It'll get mad at me. Waiting for depart. We're late. There we go. Off to Kitabi. Next stop. Nearly a kilometre to go for this one. This time remember to put the brakes on going down the hill. Has anyone brought up the class 90? Only you, Psych. You don't get on my nerves, Hornby man. You just are off topic. Right to the end of the platform on this one. Ah, it'll do. I'll take it. It'll do the job. That'll do. That's enough to hold it. You missed the HST T-side train watcher. Switch to tea now. Finish the coffee. I've normally drunk my coffee before I start the stream, but, you know, it was cold today, so I didn't get out of bed. Seemed fair. Let's try watching it again. No cherry blossoms now, though. Just snow. Which doesn't seem to accumulate on the cars, but it does on the train. So that's good. Let's see if we can stop at Seiyu this time. Ooh, I have some blurry textures. Suppose we should expect that. On the left-hand side where it says kilovolts, it went all blurry for a moment. Right, now let's get on the brakes, because we're going down a very steep hill, and we're going too fast. Let's get on lots of brakes. And at least stuff it up in a different way. I think I'm going to do it again, you know that? Oh no. Oh no. It's twice in a row on the same service. 1 Nessie. No, there are no passengers. They are a future thing. Right. Let's do the red one. You know we need to. Go. And we'll stay away from... We can have rain, heavy rain, clear. Let's have rain. I want to see what rain looks like. Go. Yep. We just got to ignore that. Yep. Andy says, I don't think I could drink tea just after drinking coffee. I think my taste buds would get confused. What are we in? We're in the shiny diesel, aren't we? We are in the shiny diesel, the one that spews Greta's everywhere.
How dare you?
You knew she'd be here sooner or later. All right. I think these... Yeah, this one's also a self-lapping brake. And we can go, apparently. No? Not yet. Not yet. 8:30 we go. There we go. Now we can go. Brakes off, power on. See ya, Homby Man. Homby Man is clearly easily offended. So this one is a smoke-spewing diesel. I do like the Half-Life symbols above all of the sidings. This thing has got a gearbox, seems to have 2 speeds. Oi, stop accelerating. Yes, I know, we're going too fast, game. Live with it. And clearly this is Osaka Castle. Clearly, but not really. I should be in the UK in August. I say should, because there are things conspiring against me. We have the pumpkin who keeps exploding things. And we have, the UK has set their terrorism thing to severe, which means I can't get any travel insurance. We're not stopping at the next station, we're going straight through it. Should probably put headlights on, shouldn't I? There are some really nice visual things in this game. Shadows are done really, really nicely. There's no popping in track shadows in front of you, even in sunny weather. We're already doing 90, it's fine. There's a little bit of pop in with detail on buildings, but not much. They just sort of resolve a little bit as you get closer to them, but I think that the balance of LODs is quite good. In all the ways that it's not quite good on And gratuitous bridge shot. Getting better at those in this game. Am I going too fast again after the bridge shot? Yes, I am. In fact, we have to slow down to 65. Otherwise, we're going to get one of those announcements. Oh, we're actually stopping at this station too. And we are slipping in the wet. Magic. It's very hard to watch chat and play this game, it really is. Because I am just sliding right now. I am slowing down. I've gone past my stop point, so we'll be going backwards. Because just stopping is not good enough. Alright, let's get some brakes on. And get back into forwards. At least it doesn't forget you to do that. Andy says you can definitely tell it's much inspired by Osaka Castle. It is indeed. How did they get to that, says Zyke. That's just how they do it. T-Side wants an East Coast main line extension on Train Sim World. I don't see that happening, to be honest with you. I have reached the conclusion that things are going to slow down. I certainly wouldn't mind an extension, but I just don't see it happening, really. It did just change gears. We're going through the next station, which is Nogata. Richie says this game is horrendous for overshooters. It's pretty bad for spatters as well. Uh-oh. 70 zone. And we're slipping in the rain. But we are slowing down, so that's good. We are going to be too fast, though, for a little while. There we go. We're good. We're good. We survived. Locomotive just joined. Nice. Thank you. We head for Casagano. T-Side Train Watcher says technically the whole West Coast main line's in the game. Why not focus on some East Coast main line? I just have the impression that we're not going to see much. I just have that impression. Besides, if you think about it, TSW 7's coming out in August. We all know it will. So they'd be busy building that. Richie hasn't spattered yet. I've spattered twice on this stream, in the same place, on the same route, in the same service. You come down this really steep hill into the station, and the first time I did it, I was reading the chat. And the second time I did it, I was, I turned on snow and didn't really think about snow and put the brakes on and went, uh-oh. So we will go back to that service today because I am going to finish it. But I decided to do one of the red ones. By popular demand. Yes, TSW7 leak, that's it for sure, Richie. I think we're all used to the fact it comes out in September now. Next non-stop is Izzy. When is the class 70, says T-side at Train Watcher. About 100 years from now would be my bet. Straight through this station, not stopping. And then we're not stopping at Hayakawa. The game does have the Japanese flavour down quite nicely in its current version. It feels Japanese. Never ridden in these trains themselves, but I have stood there in other trains and watched the driver. As you do. Andy reckons we won't see the 70 till TSW7. I'd love to tell you I know, but I don't. Vigilance. Hayakawa is the next non-stop. All the passengers dutifully standing behind the yellow line. They're all very good here. As we cruise on through, next non-stop is Komori. Do we stop anywhere in this train? I guess not. I guess we're going to the end. We're going to Oshimishima. Oh, gratuitous bridge shot coming up. Whee. There we go. Gratuitous bridge shot. Eventually success. Richie loves the heat. It's about 35 degrees for you guys at the moment, isn't it? I was joking last stream that since you've turned into Australia, we're going to start sending you our criminals. We have no shortage. If you'd like some, let me know. I'll box them up and send them over. Do like the reflected trees in the pond over there. It's very nice. Visually, this game is pretty much spot on. And we'll be going through this station again, Komori. Locomotive says most, not all, of the West Coast Main Line, no Northampton Loop, Crewe to Adley Edge, no Stoke-on-Trent, Glasgow to Carlisle. Yes, there are no NPCs, Andy. Next station we are actually stopping at, so Oshimishima. Locomotive is quite moist. Well, that's an interesting way to put it. Psych says they hope they ban Alan Thompson. Those are harsh words, Psych. Tam Walker says, my question tonight, you're a bit fed up with the way TSW has been since the end of March. Recent times, you... I am annoyed with them. I don't make any secret of that. I don't make any secret of that with them either. Richie could tell you, but he can't, because he's got an NDA. I am quite vocal. I never put the wipers on, did I? Tiny little wiper. It's like a mini wiper. It's like a little baby wiper. It's two little baby wipers. The reason I say banning ATS is harsh, Psych, is because every developer needs an opportunity to learn. The seawater looks quite nice, doesn't it? Yes, we are stopping at this one. And he says, lucky it cools down tomorrow, back to mid-high teens. I don't mind a bit of heat when it's not oppressive. If it's very high humidity and hot, I don't like that. But just hot by itself, I'm fine with. Look at me trying to stop properly. Must find out what Zigiwa Teisharesh means apart from stop now, Buffed. In fact, it wants me to go past the 2 sign, which is interesting. Let's power on a little. Wants me to go to the 4 sign, clearly. That'll do. Richie was live last night. What can't you say? You can't say how vocal I've been inside the Discord with our DTG friends. And I do say friends literally. I don't mean that in a sarcastic way. I am friends with JD and Alex and Jamie and Harry. But that doesn't stop me going, oi. But I've not said anything to them that I've not said live, and I make a point of not saying anything live that I have not already said to them. So I always say it to them first, because they deserve that. Off we go to not stop at Aya Wada Minato. Locomotive might get a Is the Class 90 Fixed Yet t-shirt. That would be funny. I have to admit that would be funny. I missed Richie's live last night because, you know, I look at my phone and go, Richie was live 26 minutes ago, and I go, bugger. Never mind. There's always next time. Psych will wear one as well. T-side couldn't join, busy with family business. Yeah, it's a bit like us. We had a lot of people over yesterday, so I normally watch people's streams on my Saturday and could not, because just doing a lot of other stuff. Getting the house ready, mowing grass, all that kind of thing. Kids were helping the other half cook. I just stay out of the way in the cooking department. It's your birthday soon in July. There you go. Happy birthday. Andy says, problem here is normally hot and humid. Torii gates. I like these things. How far do they go? Not very far. Uh-oh, I'm down a drain. I like Torii gates. Ooh, it's another one over there. But I better get back to my train, because we'll be in trouble if I don't. It's not the kind of game where you can just stay out of the train and sightsee. Kamahun, delighted to see a train sim can look like UE5 tech, static, light baking, etc. And we developed UE4. It makes for a lot of limitations producing visual content. It is visually amazing, this game. I think like all the games based on Densha to Go, or should I say inspired by, it, for me it lacks long-term playability. Because of it has limitations, but visually it's stunning. It is a very, very good example of what's going to be possible for other games in UE5. We've seen that already in Subway Sim 2. They've done an awesome job as well. It's not as good as this. This is a notch above Subway Sim 2, so the developer Rizu should be intensely proud of what they've achieved. It is one person building this. Just one person. It's taken them 3 years. And we see a lot of the same buildings over and over and over again down the sides of the line, which is actually realistic for Japan. But I suspect there's probably a bit of procedural building layout, because that is possible in UE5. We are going straight through the next station, and we can go faster, so we should. Definitely should. Locomotive says UK heat waves are awful. Houses designed to keep the heat in. High humidity, very long days in spring and early summer. Yes, it's problematic. Our houses are designed to leak. Which might sound like a weird thing to do, but it's actually quite good. T-Side tried a boxing machine yesterday and got 678, which is good considering I'm approaching 14. Rolling through the countryside some more. We are stopping at Yaesu. Should probably put a little bit of brake on just to start slowing down. Sykes says official taste tester and moral support. Richie says Paul is the most active user in that secret server that says it all. I didn't hear your news, Richie. What is your news? I might be the most vocal, but I'm not the only one saying it. Tintin says it, you say it, British Ace says it. I know the Germans, if you translate what's in the German chat, they're pretty vocal. Stopping at Ietsu. midnight in Inverness. I will be in Inverness in August. We are going up there. We're going to be based out of Glasgow, but the grand plan is to explore as much of Scotland as we can in a week, which isn't very long, I know, but it is a holiday. I'd love to have infinite resources to explore everywhere properly, but, you know, it's just not really practical. Did we stop close enough? Yeah, good enough. Good enough. Treeside Track Watcher says the tracks are tiny. Well, they should be. Tracks aren't huge things. Syke says, hello, Joseph. A lot of Japan's narrow gauge, too. 27A Grenville Street. The horn works, right? Yep. But you don't use it, because Japanese don't use horns. The only time you'll ever hear a Japanese train blow a horn is if someone's too close to the platform edge. Because no one runs across a crossing in Japan, because they're all way too well behaved for that. Off we go to not stop at Shiohama. Pile on the bananas. We can have a look outside and see how the Gretas are going. Maybe if we do this way, that, then that. No, that worked badly. We'll just pretend I know what I'm doing, it's fine. It's fine. Can we get a gratuitous bridge shot in? Yes, we can. Just. Keep on rolling. Locomotive said it must be bravo to the developer. Yes, I wonder if he'll get snapped up by a company and remain independent. I don't even know if it's a he, to be honest. I just know the name, Rizu. Could be anything. I don't know. But yeah, very, very clever and excellent achievement for what they've done. I was wondering why I had no power and I was slowing down. It's because I had the brakes on. Yeah, clever, clearly. Oh, the punto has finally died, Richie. T-Sway Train Watcher, how did you get 1.9 million views on one shot? I don't know, and to be honest, I wish I did, because I'd do it again. I don't know. It's just one of those fluke things. People just liked it. It's actually still got massive views. It's still going up. It's been going for months. It doesn't get as much as it used to. It was kind of funny. I put it up and I looked the next morning and it was like 150,000 and I thought, oh, that's cool. And by that afternoon it was up to 1 million and it's like, what is going on? See, now imagine if Dawlish looked like this. Teesside Train Watcher says, can you visit the Tees Valley line, Paul? Musk and Saltburn. I don't know is the answer. We have been planning out our trip. The Scotland part of it's sorted, the York part of it's sorted, the Chatham part of it's sorted. But there's 2 weeks after that, which we haven't planned yet, which predominantly will be Wales, but we're not going to be in Wales the entire time. So depending on how easy some of these things are to get to, there might be possibilities. But I am travelling with the missus, so I don't mind changing locations every single day. She absolutely hates that, so we'll go somewhere and stay there for a while. Because I need to be fair. I love its little hints. It sounds like a sneeze, this next station. Doing an in-cab gratuitous bridge shot. So we're not stopping at this one. We are terminating at Nagara, which is the one after this one. I wouldn't have thought these cherry blossoms would really survive a rainstorm. Japan do have level crossings, lots of them. You've seen a few in this game. But people behave themselves in Japan. Locomotive said I'm off to the Orkney Islands in July to get a literal van load of LMS O-gauge stuff for the model gauge O'Dore, Scotland. My best mate lives in Orkney, so stop on the way up in the Highlands. Scotland is magnificent. I actually have relatives in Scotland. I have relatives in England too, but we won't talk about them. I'm Boo says, replayability clearly is the hobbyist project, so expandability isn't viable. It'd be great to have a sim that utilises this tech with the expansion in mind. Oh, I agree. I think there are more routes coming. There's 4 more routes planned. It may take a single developer a little while to get that sorted. But the core crew that follows this game are intense on that Discord. They're so supportive of the developer that I imagine those 4 routes will come in time. I think I should probably start thinking about slowing down a little bit, given it's wet. The gradients say they're in percentage, but they're actually not. They're in per mils, which is inches per mile. It's funny you mentioned searching, Psych, or asking ChatGPT, because the most common search on our Confluence at work is actually, who is that guy? Because I do tend to just appear on projects and go, no, do it like this, and then disappear again. Guys, that's my job. Look, it's got its own advertising on the billboard back there. Good enough. Good enough for who it's for. Seaside Train Watcher says, any holidays planned for the summer? Richie. Well, he can't go anywhere in the summer, because I'm visiting him. I thought we were terminating here, but apparently not. I'm sure we are. There we go. Press enter to leave the scenario. We're done. Alright. Should I try that one I kept failing again? I think so. So it is quite strict on the scoring. I see. That's about the best I've ever done. There you go. But if you're into scoring, its scoring system is very detailed, and it is quite interesting. I was getting later and later and later throughout that because I wasn't paying much attention to the speed because I keep reading the chat because, you know, it's kind of what you do. Let's try that one again. The one that was screwed up. We've screwed it up twice now. Let's see if we can screw it up 3 times. Now let's go with clear and go. You can turn off all the HUD elements. I haven't played enough hours to do that though. The signals are relatively straightforward. They are either green or red or pensy. Bee-boo. Get down here so we can see the gauges, because I like to read the gauges, not the HUD. Teesside says, you travelling to Scotland via the West Coast Main Line or East Coast Main Line? So I'm going to Scotland on the West Coast Main Line and going on the Caledonia Sleeper. Start releasing the brakes. Not completely though. Just to be ready. Sure, you can kind of hear people talking. Just little snippets every now and again. And on the way back, we'll be coming down the East Coast main line because we're going to York. And then we're going down to Chatham after that. I will be avoiding cross-country trains because they've proven to me that I can't trust them, so I won't. I will take a bus in preference to a cross-country train. How's that? Off we go. Will he spad again? Going to Okamati. Okamati sounds like an ice cream. Or a dessert. Joseph Bland says, Japan is such a dense country, amazing how they keep it together like a timely jigsaw puzzle. Would be an experience to witness, unlike British trains. Japan's amazing. It really is. But it's not as dense as you think it is. It's a little bit like the UK in that the cities have a lot of people. But it becomes rural fairly quickly once you're out of the cities, so. It's not like every inch of the country is full of people. We are stopping at the next station, Okamachi. Richie's off to Spain in October. Awesome. Andy Lett says the power of chat helped you get a C. C for chat. Gonna miss the stop point. Yep, we're going backwards. So I need to remember that this train brakes rather poorly. It's not high on the braking front, this one. All the brakes. There we go. Done. That would have been a bit uncomfortable to the passengers, but that's okay. It worked. T-Size says cross-country have been refurbishing their voyages. It's not the trains that are a problem. It's the attitude of the organisation. All right, brakes off. Let's go. So you do have shadows on the track, but it's not popping up in front of you. It's quite nice. It's done well. I do think, and I have said this internally, I do think that the TSW team is a little bit too wed on things from 10 years ago. They're a little bit too wed on concepts and techniques they used in Train Sim Classic. And they should probably let the engine do a little bit more of the stuff for them. We're about to go down a fairly steep hill. Maybe a little over-eager on the brakes this time, but, you know. Oh, it's got electro-pneumatic braking. Look at that. That'll do. 1.72 meters. I'm happy with that. And he says it might be refurbishment. They're still run on time, or to be honest at all, as they are renowned for that. They are. I actually chatted with a driver in cross country who was just sitting on a chair at York when I was there. Oops, I went the wrong way on the brakes then. And he said what they do, and clearly he doesn't want to be quoted on this, so I won't mention his name, but he said what they do is when they have a train that they've cancelled, they'll get another one out of the depot at York and run it into York as that train so that it arrives on time. Off we go to sail. T-So says they always get tones from Voyagers like when they scream when they're at speed. Now this is the big hill. I think the realization that this thing does have electromagnetic brakes, see, it's just released the air brakes. I think that's what was stuffing me up. We're doing it this time, you know that. We are stopping this time. "31 centimeters. That'll do the job." Teesside Train Watcher says an LNER Azuma driver's seat costs £18,000. That's like truck seats. Truck seats are really expensive too. Is this our termination? No, it's not. Going back into the single track section. Richie says the crossings in this game give you PTSD. From the Anomaly game, perhaps. Andy says, twice in a row the last 2 years I've travelled to Plymouth. First time I went via Birmingham, had to get cross-country service. The thing was nearly 40 minutes late and the journey was a nightmare. Oops, look at me going too fast. That's so standard for me. Not at all. Yes. I never go too fast. Or the alternative, I'm never speeding. Or I'm never speeding would probably work better, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. All right, let's power on. Going to Izzy Yamadera, having not spattered for the first time in the game. It is possible. Bing bong. There's a whole line of Torii gates here. Nice. And while it's doing its thing, we will go and visit the Torii gates. Why not? And we ran out of Torii gates and scenery. See, I think this is why this works. The background scenery is just really low LOD stuff. And they don't, and because he doesn't try and make it better than low LOD stuff when you come up here, you don't get pop-in. This is the cure for pop-in, because If you set all of the scenery that's along the trackside, which is the stuff you're actually looking at, as having a high LOD all the time, you don't get pop-in in Unreal. Are you listening? There you go. But no, if you try and make your world resolve as you get closer to it, you get pop-in. Yeah, I tend to agree. I can't trust cross-country, Andy, because on both my holidays, cross-country has let me down both times on multiple trains in different ways, and I just don't trust them anymore. I will take, if I'm going towards York, for example, I'll take a Northern Transpennine that stops at all stations and takes twice as long versus a cross-country because I know it'll run. And he says, second time I paid extra to go via London. Everything was so smooth and ran on time. I pay the extra from now on to go via London. Yeah, I agree with that. Just, I would literally take a National Express bus, and anybody that's taken a National Express bus knows how much they suck. I will take a National Express bus over a cross-country service. Because they might suck, and you might get someone who's vaping a weed thing right next to you, but the bus will actually go. The only thing I don't like about or really don't like about National Express is if you've got a small bag, they won't let you take it into the bus. It has to go down below, so things like your electronics and stuff get smashed. My tea's cold. Normally saying that would work, and a new tea would mysteriously appear, but I know she's having a sleep in. T-Side Train Watcher is still fascinated with my 1.9 million views on one short. Your most popular is 5K. Most of mine hover about the 1K mark, to be honest. 1 to 2. I do try and put up a short each day. In the last 2 weeks, I haven't been very good at that because I've been exceptionally busy at work. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Answer the door, will ya? That's warning me that I'm coming up to a stop and that I'm going to sped. We're on the straight track, very nice. It's quite a big station, this one. I haven't gone to try and find them, but my guess is that these stations are actually real stations. Because they just look right, if you know what I mean. Go on, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Two meters, good enough for me. Good enough for who it's for. Loco Poco says I installed the Go Transit mod on the Oakville sub like you're telling me about, but it says I'm missing a bi-level cab car error. Yeah, you need the baby bullet. Yes. It uses the baby bullet to make the Go trains. What happens if I just start driving when it says it's time to exit the scenario? Will it let me drive? No, it's smarter than that. It'll let me hit the brakes off, but it won't let me drive. Okay. It's worth a try. Why it's so dark today? Doesn't matter. Well, there you go. We actually managed to finish that one. With a C, no less. Locomotive is going to off to bed. And Hectic Jojo, hello. Hope you and the family are well. Very right. This does look fun. Glad to see you around, Hectic Jojo. Very glad to see you around. Various of us were somewhat concerned that you couldn't be found, so I'm very glad to have you back. All right, what are we going to do now? Let's try one of these. We've done the red one. Let's try one of these orange ones. Nagara to Kanamori. Locomotive says, must hit bed. Enjoy your next shift. So Locomotive, if people don't know, works at the North Norfolk Railway with Jamie. If you are in that region of the UK, I really encourage the North Norfolk Railway. It's really friendly. Prevent rolling failed. Didn't have the brakes on. Are we ready to go, train? (13:10) we depart. So if we go outside, I won't actually be able to make the train drive from here, unfortunately, but you know. Yes, yes, I know. We haven't rolled yet. I don't care. Nurse ship tomorrow, Locomotive. Oh, that'll be fun. Andy says, just noticed the pocket watch holder on the train. Never knew of that before you mentioned your video today. It's a very cool thing. And you actually see the drivers, they come up to the station and they check their watch against the clock, and then they'll check their watch with another driver, and then they check the watch with their crew if there is a crew. And then they get on the train and they use it. So it's really cool. And you can buy them too. They're a very, very accurate watch. We're going to pass Aimacho. Hectic says, I'm not brave, stupid enough to do anything drastic. Never worry. Good. I hope you enjoyed your break from the world of messiness. Doing this is one of my outlets, so it's one of my ways of staying sane is actually doing this. Hectic Jojo says Aniba is a good code site for Steam. I haven't met that one. Loco Poco says, thanks, Global. You're doing the whole works. Respect. Most people involved in Heritage Railways do have a day job. It's like me. I fire and drive on a Heritage Railway, but that's not my income. My income is IT, sadly. Being replaced by AI. Not really. AI just fucks it up and I come in and fix it. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Oh, I was going to watch the gates open and we got dragged back into the train. Never mind. We're already doing the right speed limit. I'd pretend I intended to do that, but no. Bit of flickering going on. I haven't experienced that before. That's new. Past the next station. Back in Cherry Blossom Land. We'll be passing Shiohama as well. Hectic Joko says, won't be coming back to YouTube. That's not a good idea at all. Well, that's no worries at all, mate. But you'll be here to annoy me, Math, and Liam, and perhaps Chucky if he's ever live. Fair enough. You go for your life, mate. No one needs to make stuff for YouTube. You just do. I do wish there was a proper outside cam thing. There kinda is, but not quite. We'll be going through Shiohama. So you can see how the distant scenery, even though it's very low LOD, it still works, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't worry you that it's low LOD, because the stuff that you want to look at, which is near the train, is very high. And I think it's an excellent technique that another train gaming company really, really, really needs to learn. Says he, going too fast. Like truck games, it always feels a bit wrong when you're outside. We are stopping at Yaetsu, which is the next stop, so I won't accelerate. Locomotive says, I have 3 jobs, mental health nurse, I run an online model shop and driver and fireman, a few heritage railways. I'm rarely resting. Good night. A very active individual. Good to see. I like being active. Yes, I'm a driver and fireman. Well, officially I'm a fireman, but I do drive. And I, up until tomorrow, I'm a slumlord. Because she moves out tomorrow and we're selling the house. So I won't be a slumlord anymore, and I'll just have my main day job. There is, of course, the Lego. I have committed to build rather an adventurous module for Brickvention. Haven't even ordered the pieces yet. Must get on with that. Probably do it in January like last time. Boo, AI boo, says Hectic Jojo. Hello, Carter Rasher. How am I finding this compared to TSW? Visually, it is much more impressive. I like the techniques that have been used in this. It's not just Unreal 5 that make this look really good. That's a big part of it. But it's also the technique of using high LODs all the time where you can see them rather than distance-based, where it matters. Because your brain will fill in the details, but when you get pop-in, your brain gets mad. So this technique is really good. And driving-wise, the trains I actually think are pretty good. I figured out that one that I spattered in twice now. I hadn't actually realised that it was releasing the air brakes and going on to electro-pneumatic. That's what was doing me in. Loco Poco says, when do you think TSW to got on Unreal 5? Never. It won't be TSW, it'll be something else. So TS1 was their own engine, TS2 was Unreal 4. Let's call it TS3 for argument's sake. I do think it'll happen. I do think DTG will build a game in Unreal 5, but it won't be Train Sim World. It will be something else. And I also think, like Train Sim Classic to Train Sim World, so TS1 to TS2, I imagine we will leave the DLC behind. They will not come to the new game. This is my expectation. You can call it speculation, you can call it a prediction, you can call it insider knowledge that doesn't exist yet. It is just my thing, it's just what I reckon they'll do. And it's based on comments by Matt. It's based on comments with a couple of the other devs. So I think when they get around to doing it, because I think they will, it'll be an entirely different game. We are going through the next stations. We don't need to stop there. Hello Rails, how are you? Carter Asher says, do we have all West Coast mainline in TSW6? Not yet. There is more West Coast mainline to be had. We don't go all the way up to Carlisle, and you could argue Inverness and things should be there as well. Could argue that. Imbu says, many projects in TSC used the immediate vicinity detail approach like Thompson Sim, and that was always a main point of criticism from customers. Yeah, and it's the same in Train Sim World. You really don't need proper LODs from a long way away. Because I would rather have fuzzy stuff in the distance, like those trees are definitely fuzzy, but they still work for me. I'd rather have that than have pop-in on the detailed scenery right in front of you. I don't like pop-in. So look at ATS and ETS. They manage life without pop-in. Well, mostly anyway. Global says, Lego is good fun. Haven't built a set in a few years now. Yeah, I've got some very big sets to build. But I'm building a mock for Brickvention, which is a prototypical model of a bridge for a railway, but I'm doing it as 2-track, not single-track, because our club layout's 2-track. So we'll just be pretending that it's a 2-track bridge. But it's massive, and the whole thing's going to have to be made out of Technics, and I have to find dark red Technics from somewhere. There's not much of it, so I may even have to commission a build run. So I should get off my ass and organise that. Either that or I build the bridge in black or something like that and just pretend it's the right colour, or even paint it. I'm not shy about painting Lego to make it the right colour. Am I not obeying a speed limit? Oh no! Now I am. Oops, just bumped my mic, sorry about that. Hectic Jojo says, do I miss something? No passengers. No, it hasn't got passengers yet. They are planned, apparently. Carter says, we need Class A4s in TSW7 so I can do a double header with the Flying Scotsman. I don't know if we'll see much steam from DTG. I reckon we might see it from third parties. But I don't really see DTG doing any more steam. Next stop, Omishima. That's a serious bridge. Hectic Jojo says, "Will the DLC ever come over eventually? We're talking all new." I reckon all new. I don't reckon they'll come over. They'll just keep the old game running. Andy says, "I still haven't decided whether I'm going to pick this up or not. Worried I'll play it for a few weeks and then get bored and I'll completely forget about it." Yeah, look, if you get a few weeks out of it, in Australian terms, it's $30. So if you get, for $30, that's basically a trip to the movies, which is 2 hours. So $30 will get you into the movie and get you your popcorn and your drink. So, whoops, I meant to release the brakes then, not put them on harder. If you, for $30, if you get 2 hours of gameplay out of it, you've made your money. That's the way I see it. And there's a lot more gameplay than that. There's a couple of 100 hours in it. So I don't think people will struggle. And if you're running shifts like a realistic driver, you might actually be happy to keep playing the same shift over and over and over again, because that's what drivers do in real life. So. Some people would probably be quite happy at doing that. I'm late, 86 seconds late. Never mind. Ooh, there's a person. That'll do. 1 meter, good enough. Global thinks that makes sense if you're using a whole new engine, game title, etc., and I wouldn't see them transferring the DLCs. Train Sim World DLCs would have to remain on Train Sim World. That's it, exactly. And fair chance there'd be third parties who would continue making stuff for it too. Loco Poco says, "I want to be able to walk around at the back of the train, switching rail cars as freight conductor instead of floating around. Run 8 has that part right." It does. Release the brakes and get out of here. And he says, "I'd imagine myself TSW go into legacy mode, much like happened when it replaced TSC. The new game will be standalone and they will start needing brand new DLC again." Indeed. And they'll probably remake some of them and bring them over, because some of the core DLC, like Brighton Mainline, for example, is always a popular one. Weirdly, Boring Chasm is a very popular DLC. In my discussions with Adam. Lawnmower Sim 2 should be out soon from Skyhook. It's not really my kind of game, but I backed it, so I'll play it. I'll stream it for him. It'll be a Wednesday thing. Hectic Jojo says, "Scenery is quite amazing. It looks like a real train though and not a video game." Absolutely, because it's got fidelity in the right places. That's what makes the difference. It's got fidelity where it needs it. And I suspect what holds DTG back is not the technology. What holds DTG back is that people think what they've got is good enough, and they don't understand that that's not what the players want. Train is overspeeding by 2 kilometers an hour. No! Can't have that. There you go, game. You happy now? We are not stopping at Komori. We're going straight on through to the other side, as it were. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Whee! Yeah, visually the game's absolutely stunning. And I don't think, to be honest with you, it's that big a change for TSW to look like this. There are games that have proven you can make things that look like this with Unreal 4. Hayakawa is the next non-stop, followed by Is There, the next non-stop. Well, Andy says, I suppose when you put it like that, then yeah, it is worth getting it then. Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. Hectic Jojo says BMO likely has the top spot for the most popular TSW UK route. They're pretty tight-lipped about which one is, but I would suspect BML would be right up there, yes. Hectic Jojo says, we are screaming at DTG what we want. How can they not know? It's, here, see. I've been expending a fair bit of effort convincing Alex and JD. And when I go there in August, I'll see if I can get Matt for a few minutes to talk to him again. So I talked to him last year. It's just something you just go off and chat with him on the side. I don't bring it up in front of other people. And the year before I did the same thing. I got the opportunity to speak to Matt for a couple of hours. And we talked about lots of stuff, this included. And it is one of my favourite games, so I want to see it better. Andy says BML's still the favourite UK route. Imbu says, I think there's a new UE5 product. Most of my artwork that I've done will do for TSW. Can be ported over to UE5 seamlessly, just minus the scripting. Yeah, it's been making the game work that'll be the hard bit, because... and they really should start again, because TSW customised UE4 a lot. And I know when they were building Metro Rivals, all of the changes they were making to UE5, they were actually... I didn't slow down enough then. They were actually providing them to Epic, so they went into the engine. Which is a good thing. Because it means all the work they did for Metro's not lost. Casaguano, not stopping. Nogata, not stopping. Me getting the speed limit right for a change. Hectic Jojo says Medway is genuinely the best looking TSW route I've played on the PlayStation. It is possible to make TSW look good in a console. Absolutely. Put enough effort into it, yes. But that one still has pop-in. You could sort that. You could sort that using the same method that this developer has. And I really wish they would. I do appreciate the comments from the community in here, both in the chat and comments on videos. Most people are pretty constructive. And what I try to do is be constructive rather than be destructive. So there are channels that specialize in being destructive, and they're in it for the clicks. I'm not. I'm in it to try and change the game. I have a different focus. And most of the community... Always ATS come on, because I have to slow down. Most of the community, I think, are behind that. I get the occasional person that's probably a flow over from the other channels and think I'm the same when I'm not. Because I don't think you need to be a clickbait negativity farm to do well on YouTube and to actually achieve something decent. Not stopping here. We are stopping at the one after that, Takahashi. So I think we'll just let the thing roll since we're only a kilometer away. Hectic says, I read it aloud, I realised the folly of my comment. No, there's no folly. Metro Rivals turn into yet untitled UE5 TSW replacement. I don't think it will. I genuinely don't think that, because Metro is not a driving game. And the viewpoint of the driver in that game is actually sitting on the front coupler. So it's not a driving sim by any means. Hectic Jogo says, seeing as it shit can now, I might come back, you know. I don't really know why it went away. I doubt they'll ever tell us. That's like secret source stuff. I do love that the crossover tracks are rusty in this, and that the sidings are rusty. That's just a nice attention to detail. I'll go back when we stop in the station and show you what I mean, if you didn't spot it. Just pull up here and we'll pop back into that yard. Because little things like that make this railway guy happy. That'll be good enough. So let's pop out, and we're stuck in a spot with collisions. See, it does have things like Train Sim World. When you come back here and you look at this crossover tracks here, let's get down below the wires. The crossover, crossover is very rarely used. So if the crossover is rarely used, they're rusty, like these ones, which is just really cool. So all the track that's used, and it's even, the guy's even done it based on the timetable. So these ones are used a lot. So they are like that. Don't know what the gates are doing. Are they responding to me being there? I think maybe they are. Ha! Oh, that's funny. Oh no, they're not opening this time. Maybe it's not responding to me. Maybe there is a train coming. Same here with the little dead-end siding, the little head shunt here. And the detector that goes somewhat fucked up. So little head shunt's all done, and just the way the track's done there, that is nice. It's just cool. All of the wiring around the point machines and things with the block detectors and providing electricity and all that sort of thing. Nice. Just nice job. Lots of attention to detail. Time to go? Time to go. Can I release the brakes? I can release the brakes. Good. My gut feel for TSW is that we will, apart from the annual routes, is DTG will stop making routes. That would be my bet. They'll leave it to third parties. And they've had to do a lot of... There's a Lawson's. Look at that. And they've had to do a lot of changes in the way third parties are managed to try and resolve issues that have come up. Let's call them issues. So glad to see those changes coming into effect. I'm still chatting with Alex and JD about things. And I'm not pretending I know everything. I don't. I just know what the players are saying, and I will go and say that over and over and over again until there's listening. Or they throw me out, one or the other. Hectic Jojo says TSW is making you bitter and you're going to be one of those eventually. You can feel it. It's easy. Am I supposed to stop here? No. It's easy to fall into the trap of negative. Negative is easier than constructive. And negative, if you're going after the clicks and the views, negative is where it is. Hectic says, infrequently worn rusty rail. It is nice indeed. I did see the running train advert on the billboard, yes. And here comes Osaka Castle again, even though we're clearly not in Osaka. I've got a 65 coming up, so I better slow down a little bit. And I didn't slow down enough, and we've got a 45 coming up. I better slow down for that too. Make that one. Is that red? The thing on the side's telling me yellow, but... Oh, okay, it's that signal. Right. They're very hard to read, Japanese signals. It's the one up on the right there is the one I'm interested in. It's all the others are red. I'm going, how does that work? But that's okay. Loco Poco, does anyone know what the Japanese lady keeps repeating 50 million times? She's saying, stop now, stop now, stop now. Basically. You'll notice it coincides with that light flashing on the top left there. So it sounds something like Ziggy wa Teisharesh. Something like that. But all it is stopping at the next station. Hectic Joe says, what actually going on with DTG right now, though? Things seem a little rough. They are. And this train, you actually have to apply the brakes and then acknowledge ATS. As we come into our terminating point of Kanamori. I wasn't completely certain that DTG were going to run a community event this year, and they've made it much smaller, but they are running it. So good on them for being willing to talk. Because lots of the creators are going to go in there and say the same thing. There are a few that are just ebullient, endlessly positive people who simply don't see that anything is wrong. There are creators like that. There absolutely are. And that's their shtick. That's their thing. That's what they do. They're like that with all games. So, those ones I think don't provide a lot of value. They do to their community, but not to the game. Hectic Joe says, I didn't want the views. I wanted to express how much I was displeased, which is fine. And Fabio's Arts, hello, it means the station is approaching. I believe it's a GPS for trains. It's a little bit more than a GPS. The system is very much like a buller that's used in Europe. The whole thing describes how it works and when you're supposed to stop and things like that. I know a little bit about it, not a lot. Let's go back to Fukagawa. Is there a full-length one that goes all the way? Doesn't look like it. Let's run this one. It's a nighttime one. I'll run that one at nighttime one. Izaid Takahashi. It should be actually dark. So we'll try it. Hectic Jojo's, especially after Sony declined your Class 90 refund. You were just done. Yeah, look, I hope you you find it inside yourself to play, because you do like playing and that's where you want to be, but don't until you do want to get in that headspace again. Because it is just a game. That's all it is. Brake line is charging. Please wait a moment. Ready for depart. And we are allowed to depart. Oops, headlights would be good. Night looks nice, doesn't it? Carter Asher says, I watched Wonders of Sodor add-on June 2nd. Going too fast right out of the gate, as you do. Murakami, we will be stopping 500 meters. And it's at the bottom of a hill, so I probably shouldn't accelerate too much, even though I'll be late. good enough. 1.83 meters. Hectic Jojo reckons I managed to crash out hard enough I was referred back to one of the specialists I see and am now back on program, if that makes sense. I've been playing ETS and TSC instead, having some PC fun. Good on you. And you grabbed the GBR 802 yesterday, so clearly DTG still have the hooks in. It is a bit like that. I had a little bit of a rollback then, but it didn't notice it, so I was lucky. Hectic Jojo says the 90 really boils my blood. 2 months and no fixes. Alan just keeps saying, update coming ASAP, like that means anything. I would hope that his stuff will get checked a little more closely going into the future. Because it's all well and good to talk, but when it's only talk, it's not helpful. .6 over. Happy with that. I got good braking smoothness despite stopping in the highest brake setting. The brakes in this really do feel like a train, by the way. In this one in particular, this train. The lapped brake one's nice too. So yeah, the kilovolt thing's gone blurry again on the left-hand side there. So every game has issues with that. And this train has flats. Holy Trucker says, I refunded sim. The sim is bloody hard. It is bloody hard. I don't know why I've never actually bought sim, but I never have. I should. I should grab it and give it a crack. I don't know why. I don't know why I've just never felt like buying it. I guess I buy Japanese sims that are similar simply because I've been to Japan. And while I know bugger all about the way Japanese railways really work, I've ridden them. So I know them from that perspective. And I know what feels right and what doesn't. Hectic Jojo says, seems like a good one. I've seen Maverick play that one. Yeah, people seem to like it. So I just don't know why I've never gotten it into my head that I should buy it. Tadami will come out at some point, probably between GTA 6 and Half-Life. Hectic Jojo says Tadami will be TSW 7, one new country per game you watch. We got the Star of Parker this game. Got Zwolly in TSW 5. While I like your thinking, I think there'd be pitchforks and fire. If that happened. I think there'd be a lot of very angry people. But we are getting awfully close to TSW 7. So we'll see. Hectic Jojo reckons we'll get Tadami in 7 and Setable in 8. Why am I putting the brakes on? Clown. Power. Wrong buttons. You get Half-Life 3 before Tadami. I always saw Half-Life 3 as a bit of a joke. And then Doom came out with a successor. So it's plausible. Mind you, Half-Life Alyx really is Half-Life 3, I suppose. And what's funny is I own Half-Life Alyx. I own a VR headset, have never played it. I just sit down to do it every now and again and go, nah, don't want to. I don't know why. The human brain is a weird thing. Katami, next stop. And bizarrely, even though I'm driving like a snail, I'm almost on time. It's weird. I'd really like to have this game supporting the controller. Oops, we're supposed to stop back there. It's driving straight for the 4 sign, but it's not the 4 sign that we want. No. That'll do. Tick Tick Jojo think I can think of one specific 12-year Japanese resident who will hate it if Tadami is released. Yeah, he'll survive. I know which one you're talking about, and let's just say after some of the shit that he said, he's not welcome. Fabio's Art says, HumSim looks good, it lacks a scoring system, it's hardly a purchase to me. Oh, that's cool. Okamati, next stop. And we'll be going downhill, so I better get the brakes on. Even though it's a fair way out. It's quite luxurious having releasable brakes. Oh, we went over the 4 meters. You notice how the conductor's gotten mad and gone, beep, beep, to go backwards. Jojo says, if Half-Life 3 ever comes out, something bad has happened and someone should make sure Gaben, our Lord and Savior, is okay. I think he's a little bit too busy with the GameCube right now. The Gabe Cube, I should say. Can't call it the GameCube. Get in trouble. Brakes off. Brakes off. I did put it back in forwards. Good. Off we go to Takahashi, and we're already meant to be there. Oh. Trucker says, proof time has sped up. I have played all TSW games 200 hours, but TSW 6, I've only had 158. Oops. Speeding. Don't read chat. Speeding. Pay attention to game. Oi, get out. I think the train brake stopped me. Right, now better drive, I think. Yep. The safety system just whacked me. That's like a CIFA. Swang Brem song. It is quite an annoying safety system. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Get used to this with Tadami. You can be quiet now, but you're not going to, are you? No. It does get stuck on sometimes and you can't shut it up. It doesn't matter how many times you press Q, it won't happen. You just put up with it until it's time to leave. There we go. What time is it? Ah, it's only 10:30. 1,196 of penalties and still got a C. So I am slowly getting better, I suppose. Let's pick a surface. Let's go on the other route this time. What should we do? What should we do? Early morning one? Omishima to Kanamori? Why not? Let's go. Tencha Digo! Clearly not. I should really catch up with the chat, shouldn't I? Holy Trucker, proof time is sped up. You've played all games. Not going to reach that quota before TSW7 this time. So you think the world's getting louder. Yeah, don't want the brakes to release completely though, because we'll roll then. Is this the one with lapped brakes? Oh god, it is. Yep, okay, good. No problemo. We can do this. We can do this. Brakes off. Andy Ladd says never played any of the Half-Life games. Trucker says Half-Life Alyx is the most incredible thing you'll ever see in VR. It's the greatest VR experience ever created. Big words. I'll have to give it a try. So this is one of these. I like these things. The erosion protection devices, or tsunami protection, potentially, I suppose. Probably a bit of both. One and a half Ks to Kamori. Ohio. Now the brakes on this one are weird. Because we'll go around to the... Oh, it actually applies them. Actually, maybe this isn't the one I was thinking of. No, it's not. This isn't the one I was thinking of. There's another train that's got lapped brakes that looks like this one, though. Where's my speedo? There. I was about to say I wish there was a thing that gave you the countdown to stopping right in front of your face, but there was, and I turned it off. Oh no! We are doing poorly in our first stop in the new train. Yep, and he wants us to go back. Try and catch up there. Hectic Jojo says I only have 835 hours in TSW6, almost 1.5k on TSW5, and that's on the PS4. You didn't step on toes, Hectic Jojo, it's fine. Andy says I've never played any of the Half-Life games. Night lighting is really good. It is. That way. Go! 2.7 Ks to Hayakawa. And we are 3 cars. Are we really? 1, 2, 3. We are 3 cars. No wonder I got the stop point wrong. Bit too quick. Nice reflections on the cherry blossoms there in the early light. I hope their track joints aren't all that bad. Hayakawa. gonna get in there late. I released the brakes instead of applying them then. Don't know if you noticed that. Very clever. It was going so well too. Going so well. Catching up, likes the night lighting, played Half-Life 1 way back in the day. Counter-Strike was your speed. Holy Trucker says, I'm playing this in VR. It's bloody incredible. Level 5 already in VR. It's incredible performance, runs so well. Actually, I haven't. Yeah, I assume you're using the injection mod, Prey Dogs thing. Let's release the brakes and get out of here. Hectic Jogo says we'll be getting a Gabe Cube. I'll probably wait a couple of years. The Steam controllers also look pretty sweet, but sold out instantly. They're back now. You can get them again. And they've changed the site now. You have to actually have... You have to buy stuff on Steam prior to the release coming out. So it should be possible to actually get a Gabe Cube if you want one, rather than the scalpers getting them all. Holy Trucker says the Kiha units look pretty staunch from the front end. Hectic Jojo says Sifa Disu, Sifa Disu, Sifa Sang Wemsung Disu. Yep. Yep. Death by Sifa. Even though it's not Sifa. It's Japanese Sifa. 1.5 Ks to Izzy. Is he gonna stop? That is the question. Jojo looks kind of familiar. Why though? The Kiha does. The Kihas look like bluebirds. As in the SAR bluebird. There may even be some crossover in ancestry. I'm going to try because the scene in Half-Life Alyx, you get captured and you put your hands up and keep them up or they will shoot you and your arms get sore. That could happen. I keep wanting to stop at that sign, but it's not that one, it's the one up here. That'll do. When you look at the, can I zoom in on the gauge? I don't think so, but when you look at the gauges, the three-dimensionality of those gauges with the bright sunlight on them is awesome. Separate shadows for each needle and just looks nice. Casagano, next stop. Holy Trucker says, I found braking notch 3 from 5k out and you're rolling into the station between 20 and 30. It does depend on the track. It's not all flat. Hectic Jojo pours a drink out. Do miss the old PS4 sometimes. Remember the sounds as it taxied to the runway to launch TSW, and as the fans hit Mac backshit speed, I could almost hear the PS4 calling V1 rotate. It didn't cope very well with the game, that's for sure. Holy Trucker says, look up, the roof in that thing in a cab I looked up in VR is blown away by the detail. There is a fair bit. Listen to the flame squeal as I came into the corner too fast. Nice. Amy, hello. And the Shiva Joy who retracted their message just as I was about to read it. That's alright. Breaking a bit too early there. Bing bong. Amy, hello. And Amy made a disabled joke. That's fair, Amy. I was thinking this station was really short, but it's actually not. It's just curved. The Shiva Rajoy says, crazy how well this game runs while it's being early access. It's a nicely behaving game. It's had a very long beta period as well. I wasn't in that, but I watched it. Railroader runs pretty well too, and it's in early access. Has been for years. Off we go. Hectic Jojo says, wheelie train. Cooler anyways, true. Wheelie good. Uh-oh. Nagata, next stop. Or is it Nagato? No, it's Nagata. If it was Nagato, I'd be expecting a Spanish pussy. I think it's telling me I haven't got enough brakes on. But it feels okay to me. Feels like I have too much brakes on. So many little noises happening in this game. That'll do. I did look at the roof, Holy Trucker, a while ago. Holy Trucker says in this game, once the alerter goes off, you have to brake to clear it. If you push it without the brake, it mostly doesn't work. It depends on the train. Some of them you do and some of them you do not. Full bananas. You went back to TSW6 and it looked bland. It does a bit. The lighting is genuinely awesome. I'd love to see TSW move in this direction. So it would need to be UE5 to get this lighting. This is ray tracing. Andy says the shadows and the things like the gauge does look fabulous. Maybe the ray tracing helps with that. Oh, very much. Yeah, that is ray tracing's thing. Magic little details. That's why I laugh at people who say it doesn't matter. It's like, it does. It's tiny things, but it's tiny things that make your brain go, smile. Braking way too early. Gonna get that later and later and later. Now going, who is this apprentice driving? One rack application, let's just leave it and see what happens. I think it's going to stop early. Yeah, you have to release it, I think. Yes, you can look through a slot into the back, says Holy Trucker. Always like looking in slots. Wish you could zoom out a little bit more. Light bulbs look awesome. Shadows, in case fabulous it is. Holy Trucker says behind you is a slot. We looked at that. Fabulous Arts, did you notice one of the brake gauges moves a bit when you whistle? Yeah, it does. It should, because you're using air. It happens on real trains too. Because you're using a little bit of air, your master res should jiggle a little bit. Susie has pneumonia, next stop. Holy Trucker says behind you is a slow. Oh, did that. Holy Trucker, fluorescent lights look good enough to give you a headache. This game is detail on point. And Holy Trucker says, so we need to preview of Trent Valley this week means you have it already. Actually, I don't. I do not yet have it. Normally the preview comes out, we get it, and then it's released. Is the normal order. Occasionally we get stuff earlier than that, but it's not common. Don't know why I was cruising along so slowly then. Trying to read the chat, I suppose. I really do wish that this worked with the levers because Going back to the keyboard after using levers for so long is annoying. I've been reading your comments. I'll catch up with them. Fine. There you go, conductor. Jojo worries about West Coast Main Line Trent Valley and how it will run on 9th Gen. Even Preston to Crew is going to be a worry. DTG seems to think the best way to fix performance is to remove services and layers. No, that's part of the deal, is removing the services and layers. There's a lot of other work happening at the same time, both in core and in the roots. So that's only part of the mix. Imbu says a lot of the visual aspects of this game are benefited by Lumen. The emissive shadow effects come mostly for free with this engine. The physical assets are likely not far off TSW standards though. Yeah, probably. It just looks better. Given Unreal Engine 6 is on the way, you might even wonder if TSW skips 5 and starts with 6, because the people who were in bed with Epic would likely have access to 6 already. Now, Hectic Jojo, you ask, is it the difference in how the dev uses the engine? Not really, because UE4 doesn't actually have Lumen, which is the feature that this game is using very heavily. The difference between 4 and 5 is, well, probably the most essential difference, apart from driving too fast, is a lot of the stuff is done for you in 5 that you had to do yourself in 4. And I think that's why games look so vastly different from game to game in 4. Kanamori, Termination Station, coming up. So we roll our way in. Hectic Jojo says, Imbu, it's more to do with the tech available to them. It needs to do a lot by hand with UE4 to make something visually acceptable. UE5 has features that do 90% of the heavy lifting. Indeed. They're quite different engines. That's why I laugh when people say, you should just port it. It's like, yeah, sure, that's easy. Ding dong, 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 ding dong. Holy Trucker thinks Dovetail's up to no good. I can see Trent Valley costing a premium cost route and see Just Trains exceeding that amount yet again, starting the price increase up again. I think price increases are tied to needing to pay a couple of hundred people and having cost of living increases. Like the business I work for in my day job is suffering a lot at the moment. We had 30% of our budget stripped from us 60% of the way through the year. And we're not alone in that kind of thing. Come on, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. Just why this sits in this station, I'm just going to refresh my cup of tea and have a personal break. I'll be right back. Righto, back again. Thanks for hanging around. Let's, what do we do now? Probably be the last run, so we'll make it a good one. Let's stick with Sankai, and so that's Kanamori to Nagara. That's full run. We should see the sun come up on this one, I would think. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, let's do this one, because that's a full run all the way down, so we'll do that. That looks like fun. Go! Imbu says it's more to do with the tech available. No, I've been through that. Hectic Jojo says, Holy Trucker, they charge more for a route as long as they don't come back after the fact and remove those content that was advertised. Is this the lapped brake one? No. No, this isn't the lap brake one. All good. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Prepare to depart. Party while I'm gone, you reckon, Hectic Jojo? West Coast Mainline B2C's release article still shows the layers and services that were removed. They have removed stuff. The other timetable's still there, though. You can run it if you want to. Oh, I applied the brakes. Sausage! Holy Trucker says, I can see it. Just trains like to charge the most for their products. They have lost that status now. Looking at pulling the cab along and look at the phone. It's huge. Baby. Andy says, I think UE6 is too much in its infancy for DTD to take the plunge and use it yet, unless they want to stick with UE4 for a good number of years. I can't see them taking that jump. I kind of could, to be honest. If they've still got the experimental childhood philosophy that they had for a long time, I could actually see them taking that jump. Andy Ladd, I think, Trucker says, who wants to try this in VR? A YouTuber called Fast Lawyer has a tutorial. I would pretend to have a look, Holy Trucker, but I wouldn't have time to do it anyway. Things are just a touch hectic in the next couple of weeks. I'm not even sure how much I'll be live streaming next Sunday. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. We have a very tight time frame to get our house on the market because we've got furniture staging booked and a photographer booked, and we need to be ready. So if I'm ready by the Sunday, fantastic, but if I'm not, we'll probably work through the Sunday. I better put on lots of brakes. I'm not ignoring the chat. I will catch up with it. It's just a little bit difficult with this game because it wants you to be so exact. TSW, it doesn't matter if you miss the stop by 20 meters. No one cares. This will be fine. Yep. Joe's right now the most expensive TSW route has been $64.95. There's, which one was 80 something? One of them was $84 for a while. Holy Trucker says, I can see Just Trains waiting. I think Dovetail used Just Trains to raise their prices. Don't know. I think West Coast Mainline Trent Valley will be $54.95. Preston Crew likely $59. Holy Trucker, Trent Valley is the longest UK route now in the game. Will be a premium price. And Holy Trucker says, wait, doesn't Just Train's new route come with new rolling stock? You'd hope so, but I don't actually know. Might not, actually. Hectic Jojo says, if it costs a premium price and that's okay, just don't come back and remove stuff afterwards. You can't advertise one thing and then after you take someone's money, change it to something different. I understand that philosophy, that thought. I know there are some people in the UK who are actually launching a consumer action, so we'll see what happens with that. I won't talk about that one because I don't really know it firsthand, but I've had it mentioned to me, so we'll see where that goes. Whatever happens with that sort of thing, it will not have a good outcome for anybody. Quite nice morning light, very unreal. Takahashi is the next stop. The JoJo's, unfortunately, layers route are gone. The rail tours in there in the original timetables. I thought the original timetable was untouched. And that they put up a modern timetable to replace it. But I could be wrong on that. Sounds like I am. But that was the impression I had from the notes. What could be handy, I suppose, is make a layering system that allows you to play that extra runs, but doesn't show them as AI. Because the reality is the RAM budget is the RAM budget, and if you exceed it, you fix it or you crash. We just leave this. One break application. Is it going to be good? Well, it's going to be close. Oh, it's not bad. I'll go with that. Hectic Jojo says it does. The class 20 is new. The class 47 is new. Don't know. Maybe. What's the other one? A 45? Something like that. Let's get out of here. Full bananas. 20 is a new variant. The 47 is a new variant. The 87 layer over or come with just trains as well. Yeah, there are 87 hauled passenger trains in it. Had to delete 7 AI trains on Birmingham Crew. Every single one was on the red again. What service, Holy Trucker? And what are you playing on? And were you on time or late? And he says, could it be PC kept the original timetable, consoles are reduced? They have done that before, and there was a massive outcry. And that's actually where this legal action came from. Was the disparity. Holy Truckers playing on PC. Don't remember the service actually. Not that hard. Tell us we'll strip the 805 into 2 full runs now. Funnily enough, I've only run the newest release on Xbox. Haven't actually run it on PC. That'll do. Jojo says this update was for PC consoles both. According to Kez on the forums, the Series S gets the full reductions and the Knights and PC get rail tours and AI removed. Yes. Yeah, they had a, in a past route, they did one where they left the PC alone. And that caused angst. And if you look at the average hardware based on the Steam hardware survey, the average PC hardware is not really much better than a console anyway. So those people would have still suffered. PC handles it a little bit differently than console does. Console will just exit the game when you exceed the memory budget. PC doesn't do that. It tries to cope. It will unload other stuff to try and cope. That sometimes goes well, sometimes not. It's really a good idea to unload your operating system, for example. Casaguano, next stop. Station covered in cassowary poo. This is either going to be good or not. Too early. And he says new variants of 2047, 86 and Mark IIs should give us all variants of the Mark IIs now. That's a decent selection. And he says Hectic Jojo not played it yet since it was updated. Hello Trucker doesn't even know if the 807 is any more different than the 805. Anything noticeable or stand out? Just duck over to the Lawsons over there and grab some munchies. Hectic Jojo says, hot take, I don't care if PC and console are different, just that I'm sold something for 9th gen that is hobbled after I paid for it because D2D can't fix their game right. What would you prefer though? I imagine what you're saying is that you don't want that stuff in there in the first place. But if you've got a choice between crashing and not crashing, what would you want? This thing, for example, uses a ton of VRAM. It's quite thirsty. This game and Subway Sim 2 have both started pushing me towards the idea of putting a second GPU in my machine. One's dedicated for gaming and one dedicated for streaming. Because the one I've got is for streaming. It's got 2 encoders. But it's shared RAM. I am arriving at this station at the time that I should be arriving at the next station, and I'm going to overrun this again. Ah. And the conductor's going to mad at me. How did I break that hard? Interesting. The 807 and the 809 is 7 cars and electric only, says Andy. Jojo's 807 electric, 805's 5 cars and buy. Hectic Jojo says, I'd like them to constantly not release more DLC and fix the game. Well, I think that is what they're doing at the moment, because if you haven't noticed, there have not been any DLC releases, yet a lot were promised. So they've just done one big patch. There's more work coming. Birmingham Crew and Frankfurt S-Bahn are the 2 hardest to run routes in the game. Frankfurt does whack it. Kassel Wurzburg does too. Hayakawa, 1.64 kilometers away. As we go full fang. Gates opening. Jojo says, I can't just say it isn't just unsaid. Vermina Crew wasn't crashing on most PS5. I can deal with blurring textures. In fact, I did by uninstalling the JT stuff. Now the choice is taken from me. Yeah, I get that. The challenge that they had was that they put all these layer controls in and people refused to use them to make their life better. You were an exception to that in using them, which basically left them the only choice was to take stuff out after that. Is it ideal? No. Is it good? No. So I understand why you feel the way you do. You gonna stop, train? Oh, I hate the brakes in this train. It goes on to electro-pneumatic just when you don't expect it to, and effectively overshoot everything. Didn't I put it in reverse? Sun coming up over there looks quite nice, even though we're driving into it. Might need sunglasses. Yeah, we hear you, lady. You can relax now. There you go. The 805, which is fine before, now has black boxes all over my in-cab buttons. Yeah, I don't get what that is. Hectic Jojo says they aren't fixing the game by actually fixing it. They're nerfing everything so it works. No, they are actually fixing the core. There's been a lot of changes in that. There has been a lot of changes. They are not ready as yet, but they've been doing a lot. Hopefully, we've seen some of it in this patch. Hopefully we'll see the rest of it in the next patch. Don't know what happened with the 805 with the black boxes. Interestingly, those black boxes, I actually used to see those when I was in beta. I saw those black boxes on stuff. So they went away and came back. Got the giant bridge again. Let's get onto this side this time. Screenshot. Coming up to Kamori. Weird part is textures aren't blurry, the weird black boxes, it's quite strange. The black boxes, my guess would be, is a missing asset. And all those little icons aren't there. Ah, you can rant away, mate. Rant away. I don't think it's unjustified ranting. Kamori, next stop. And it's telling me I should be braking, but I am. And I'd love to just leave this brake application and see what happens. Because it's feeling all right at this point. I don't know if it'll stop accurately enough. I think it's going to stop too soon, actually. We'll see. Maybe not. I think we need more brakes. Yeah, we need more brakes, and it's going to go electro-pneumatic on me, and then it'll stuff it up. There it goes. It's released the air brakes. It's gone electro-pneumatic. "16 centimeters. Hectic Jojo says, "Bah humbug, I'm sure it's all Rivet's fault somehow anyway." Rivet do make the core routes, just so you know. I don't think that's news. Let's go. Let's go. Full bananas. Omishima, next stop. 2.5 Ks again. There are some things that people get vastly wrong. One of the most common comments I see is that Metro Rivals and World of Sodor were stealing people from TSW, and it's like, no, separate crews. And I'm pretty sure World of Sodor is like TSW 5.5, because it's got some TSW 6 features, but not others. Gotten the switch to electro-pneumatics over with early. Hectic says, "You've forgotten already, Rivet Skyhook Shill, cargo line for days, and I love me some 170. Yeah, Skyhook's not happy at the moment. Adam's been playing this. He's been quite loving it. I have seen him mention another cargo line, which will be in Germany, I believe. It is supposed to be coming to the Switch. I haven't actually heard anything about that since the launch, though, when they said Switch will be a little bit later, and it hasn't happened, so... And it was coming to the Switch 1, not the Switch 2, which is weird. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Yes. Is good. Maybe I'm getting used to this. Yep, cargo line version 6, gas, or volume 6. It's probably volume 6, isn't it? Sussed data ready. It should be a Railpool 187 with the updated sounds from the 145. I don't know if they'll release a loco. I'd be a little bit surprised at that. Let's roll to I Wanna Minato. Nearly 3Ks to go. You think the wagons will be zaggins? I need to start looking for driver experiences around where I'm going to be in the second half of my holiday. See if I can find any full line runs that aren't horribly expensive. Which would probably be on a smaller railway, I suppose. Clank, clank, clank. Jojo reckons that Skyhook could use existing 187 and refresh the sound set from 145. We have a license for rail pool. Jojo zags aren't too different from Zackens. I'd be surprised if a German cargo line came with a new loco. I think it'll come with an existing logo. Because Skyhook's development team is Adam. It's one guy. We're supposed to stop here? We are. Fuck. Don't go through the signal. Don't go through the signal. Stop before the signal. I don't know what was going through my brain then. Come on, braking system. You can do it. Yeah, Rivet and Skyhook are different companies, though. And Skyhook got their finances destroyed by a AAA studio that didn't pay them. Dong ding dong ding dong ding dong ding. I don't know why I didn't think why I had it in my head that we weren't stopping there. I don't know why. Doing well, clearly. Had to go the emergency brake then. And it may actually yell at me for the rest of eternity. We'll see. Yep, it won't shut up. I think it might bing bong at us for the rest of the run because it's broken. Let's try and do another emergency brake. And see if we can clear it. There we go. That's cleared one of them. Come on. Ooh, it's mad. No, we're going to be stuck with this noise for the rest of the run. Grouse. Kaguradai with Avon calling. Skyhook for the 187, the cargo line, folks. It's 187, it's where Rivet's the 170, 171. Rivet have made German stuff, but not that one. But I don't think they'll be game to get the 187 out again. I really don't. It's like the 90. It's the train people love to hate. I cannot make it stop. Make it stop. This is how overly bright sun should happen too. UE5 does it quite nicely. Better than UE4. No, it should be any brake application will let you suppress the ATS. Let's try and do a small brake application here and see if I can... Waha! Small brake application was enough. Kaduradai. Next stop. Then Ietsu. Yes. Well, temporary victory, because I've still got ATS flashing at me. Ooh. Where's the train in the reflections? There was no train. Are you serious? I lied. "211 seconds late. I'm in trouble. I'll have to go back and apologize to the passengers personally now." It'll do. It'll do. Prepare to depart. Full bananas. If you work for JR and you are late, is it a written warning or just seppuku? You have to go and apologize to the passengers, or at least you do on the bullet trains. Ooh, sparkles. I didn't know it had sparkles on the pantograph. Ooh. It's got collision on an object that shouldn't have collision. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Discovers you can't drive the train from the outside view. What a way to find out. Good. Good. So we're due in here at 6:03, then Shirahama. A little bit late. Dare we try some spirited running? Will it set our score to 0 if we have spirited running? We may need to find out. All right, we cannot possibly get back on time. But let's try some spirited running and see what happens. I'm curious. So from now on, until the last stop, we are going to ignore the speed limits. We're just going to let it go full fang. Gratuitous bridge shot stuck on a house. Yes, perfect. Whee! Speed limit being ignored. I reckon ATS might whack me. And I'm going to have to brake really hard for the station, so let's do that now. This will work out, I think. Oh, a bit early, so come off the brakes a little bit. Come on, 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 come on. Ah, you bastard. You bastard. That didn't work. Andy Lad says cows that live up the road from here being very spirited tonight can hear them mooing quite loudly constantly. Maybe they're having a party tonight in the field. Either that or there's a fox or something annoying them. Going, bloody foxes. Doors shut, lights on, let's go. Max bananas. Speed limits will be ignored. Hectic Jojo says time to head off for lunch and your daily fresh air and walk. Nice to catch the stream. Good to see you, Paul. Hope you and the family have an awesome week. Yeah, thanks, mate. Enjoy your walk. Have fun. I'll be doing some lunch shortly. It's getting towards that time. Ooh, the amount it takes away from you actually increases the more you speed. Interesting. We only got it up to 110. You can't just fly in and belt the emergency brake at the end of the platform like you can in TSW, though. And he said, could be a fox. We get an awful lot of them around here. Lots of birds of prey around here as well. Where I used to live in the little mountain town of Emerald, if someone saw a fox, the next thing you tended to hear was as the double barrels went off. On ya, Ziggy. The scoring system's based on denture to go. It's almost exactly the same game. Let's get the brakes released a little and get them applied a little bit. There we go. Just to be quicker to release. TSC, I guess, was influenced by denture as well, so. Light on, let's go. Last stop is Nagara. 3 kilometers away, nearly 4 kilometers away. We will fang it. I don't think we can get there in a minute, but we're going to fang it. See how unlate we can be. Hold on tight, passengers. We're going grip it and rip it mode. See if I can manage to get a negative score. We're on our way there. Can we get it up to 120 Ks? It's trying its little heart out. Needle's still moving. I think we have reached max power though. We're now speeding by a lot. ATS will whack me soon. 120, we've done it! Yes! The question is, can we stop now? We're just going to blow right through the station. And he says, we often had a barn or owl early evening. It comes out and sits in a tree in our garden. Even the cat doesn't bother going after it. Knows she tried, likely end up as dinner. Yep. Bing bong. There you go. Went from being 3 minutes late leaving the last station to 2 minutes late arriving at this one. That's all right. That'll do. It's good enough for who it's for. And just as we're getting near it, we go emergency stop. Ah, and I get to recharge and go backwards. Emergency stop didn't stop as quick as I thought it might. Brake line is charging. Please wait a moment. Come on, I've released the brakes. Back you go. Back you go. And emergency stop. Bump. And that'll be the end of the stream for today, I guess. We'll be back later this evening. We'll be playing some more Running Train. On Wednesday night, by popular demand, we will be doing some Poirot. So I don't know if we'll play Poirot every week, but we're going to play some Poirot. So and I shall learn how to pronounce Poirot in French better. In fact, I wonder if I can. Oh, what if I can get Joe to come and sit with me? That'd be cool, because she actually is French. She'd know what it's saying. I could get her to say all the names. Anyway, I would have thought I would have got worse than a D, because I went from 1 point, nearly 20,000 points, down to 7,000 by speeding and getting pummeled. Lots of penalties, lots of penalties. Yeah, it's perfect. Alrighty. Have fun, folks. It has been a pleasure showing off Running Train. I'll be doing it again this evening for the other end of the audience. And we will be back on... might do Train Sim World next weekend. Not sure. We'll see. But anyway, might be some other things get in the way of that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Alrighty. Have fun, folks. One last word from...
How dare you?
That's what I thought you'd say. Alrighty. Enjoy. Oh, no, wrong one. I want that one. Happy Cat. About that one. All right. See ya.